Right, I wanted to pick up on a couple of things that I saw posted online by a couple of friends of mine, and very valid points. The first one was about comp results. Now, when you compete, you are effectively asking the opinion of seven strangers. You are standing there in your underpants, covered in Marmite, and turning around and saying to seven complete strangers, in most cases, what do you think of the way I look? So why do you complain when they give you their opinion? Bodybuilding is subjective. It's not like a race or powerlifting, and even powerlifting can get a little bit subjective when we come to depth. But, there isn't a clear winner in the essence of the first across the line, the person that lifted the most weight. It's a group of things, a balance of size, symmetry, condition, aesthetics, and then the judge's individual taste can come into play. Now, a judge is supposed to judge by the criteria of the class that they're looking at. But personal opinion does come into play. You can't help that. That's human nature. What people think of how a physique should look definitely comes into play. And those that are into hard training will generally appreciate a well-developed back or well-developed legs because they appreciate how much hard work goes into developing those belly parts. I know Scott Houghton always favoured a leaner leg, a lighter leg. He didn't like big legs. So everybody has their own tastes. You try to be objective as possible, but we are human beings, and as a result, personal taste can come into play. But my point is, if someone comes to me and asks my opinion on their physique and I give it them, then they start moaning about what I've said. Then what was the point of them asking me in the first place? So if you're going to go on stage and compete and do effectively the same thing, don't fucking bitch about it. Yes, there are some spurious results sometimes, but you know this going into the competition. Doesn't make it right. But at the end of the day, you have to accept what those seven people have decided because you've asked for that by entering that show. Now, yes, we should be able to, adhere that judging will be fair. And in general, it is. There are some dodgy decisions, I don't deny that. But the other thing is, and trust me when I tell you this, when you're sat in that judge's seat, the view from there is different even from the view 4 rows further back. You get a very unique position to look at physiques, and you will see things that other people won't see, and definitely things that won't show up in photographs. So, if you ask people's opinion, then you've got to accept the opinion they give. You might disagree with it, but you can't go bitching and moaning that you've been robbed or that opinion is wrong because it is just an opinion. So as far as the person that gave that opinion, it's right to them. And then the other thing, when you go online post-show and you moan, you should have been this, you should have been that, and you put up shitty quality pictures taken from 57 million rows back on a house brick, and then people start saying, oh, clearly got your third, bro, clearly got your second. What the fuck? Stop blowing smoke at other people's asses. If they're shit, they're shit. Why lie? Just don't say anything if you don't want to tell them the truth because you're scared of upsetting them. But don't fucking lie. I remember someone recently competed, didn't place very well, and they were adamant they were ripped off. They were adamant they were robbed. Now, I don't like going on photographs and videos because, like I said, they don't tell a true picture. But even from the photographs, it was obvious his placing was there or thereabouts. But there were people in the comments, oh, I've got you second, I've got you third, I've got you, challenging for first. It was absolutely ridiculous. The guy was nowhere near. Night and day. Obvious that he was placed where he should have been placed. So why lie? Why blow smoke up his fucking ass? You don't do him any favours. He just ends up looking a bigger dick because then he believes his own bullshit. So then he starts running around until someone turns around and goes, actually, no, you look a sack of fucking shit. And then he has that massive crushing reality he has to deal with, unless he stays in denial. And I'm saying he, but it could well be female. I'm not being specific here. So it varies. Some parcels have arrived. That's yours, not mine. So, stop it. You don't have to be nasty. You don't have to be cruel. You can be diplomatic. But for fuck's sake, don't tell him he should have been second or third when he was obviously fucking 10th, 12th or 13th. It's stupid. And at the end of the day, pictures tell a different story. Trust me on that one. I've seen pictures from shows that I've judged at, and I've looked at the pictures and thought, this can't be the same show I've just judged at because that fucking guy looked 10 times better than that on stage. Some people just take shit pictures. Excuse me a minute. Get off! The dog's trying to eat my foot warmer. Yes, I'm an old man now, okay? And my wife for my birthday bought me a plug-in vibrating foot warmer. Fucking lovely. And the dog keeps trying to eat it. Anyway, the other thing was probably a little bit more complex. And that is realistic expectations. Now, certain ones are obvious. I ain't never going to be a bikini model. I ain't never going to be a men's physique. Fuck me, I'm probably ain't never going to be fucking peeled, to be honest. So, let's be right about it. So, but for a lot of people, they aspire, excuse me. Anybody want a bulldog? You can have this one. Pain in the ass. People aspire to be bodybuilders, they aspire to be, but even, I aspire to be pro. And I would never want to knock somebody's dreams. But if you've been at it 10 years and you're still struggling to qualify for the finals, I think you need to accept that either your work ethic, your genetics, or your commitment are just not strong enough to turn you pro. And yet you see these people still going on about it. You've got to be realistic and you've got to be honest with yourself. But at the same time, I don't believe in limiting yourself. So there is a bit of a contradiction here because, you don't know what you can achieve. I remember a bodybuilder. He'd won a class. A bit of a cocky sob, to be fair. Telling me that he'd knocked his sponsorship back, and that's what. No, he wasn't sponsored at the time, and it was his first sponsorship. And he said, "No, I told him to piss off. I'm worth more than that. I'm better than that." And I was a bit like, "Whoa, you need to be a little bit humble in this game. You can't be." And he said, "No, I know what I want. I know where I am. I'm going to be pro, and these guys need to give me better than that, or they can just piss off." And I had to admire the guy's confidence and guts, but I thought, well, that might bite him on the arse. Turned out he didn't. And he turned into a very good pro. I'm talking about Nathan De Asher. And I said when he first turned pro and when he first stepped on that pro stage, you know what? All those years ago, I thought you were a little bit cocky and a little bit arrogant, but, you did it. You talked it and you walked it. And I was very proud to be wrong. So, surprises can happen. But at the same time, he's achieved that in quite a rapid amount of time. Now, if you're still banging at the same thing and struggling to win a qualifier 5 years down the line, I think you can accept you're not going to be pro. But that's not a failing. It really isn't. And this is the bit that I find strange with people. Why can't you just enjoy it? Yes, most of us compete because we want to win. That's great. But it's not the end of the world if you don't. And if it is the end of the world for you if you don't, then I think you really need to sit down and assess your fucking life choices. and have a look at your priorities. Because if your whole life is about winning a qualifier and your life is ruined if you don't, something ain't quite right there, really. Come on. Have aspirations. Give it all you've got. But if it ain't happening after a few years and there ain't no sign of it happening, you've got to start to think, you know what, I've given this my best shot. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I can just relax a little bit and just enjoy it. Enjoy the competition. Enjoy the training. You don't have to win. And you don't have to compete to enjoy this shit. You can train hard. You can be the hardest trainer person in the world. You can have one of the best physiques in the world. Doesn't mean you have to compete. You've got to do what's good for you, what you enjoy. You see, many people trapped in this cycle. I must compete or I must win, and constantly miserable because of it. And it's just like, life's too short for that shit. This shit ain't easy, and obviously you ain't gonna enjoy your last 4 or 5 weeks of the fucking comp diet. No. But if overall you don't enjoy the process, then why the fuck are you doing it? Why don't I compete? Because I don't enjoy it. I'd rather be a big fat bastard. I enjoy that. And each to their own. But these people that feel they must do this, they must do that, it's ridiculous. I must train. Why? If you don't enjoy it, don't do it. Find something else. Maybe cycling, maybe boxercise, maybe running up mountains are all better for you. But like I said, anybody want a dog? If you don't enjoy, I'm not enjoying this dog at the moment, so please, fucking take it. Anyway, life's too short to be fucking miserable. Yes, there's an element of suffering. Yes, there's an element of sacrifice in order to perform at your best. I'll accept that. But it's an element. It shouldn't be your whole life. You shouldn't be miserable. You shouldn't be hating every minute of the process. If you are, then you really got to question if that is that process for you. And this goes for anything. I worked in security for 12 months. Most of you guys will remember. I only just recently left. And I left because I was struggling with my kidney problem and the hours I was having to do. But I didn't enjoy it. And I should never have really done it for as long as I did. I'm a lot happier, a lot more relaxed now. Still work is hard. Just to focus my energy in different directions, and it's more rewarding for me. And that should be the same with your training and everything else, Just enjoy it. I know I myself put loads of pressure on myself to be where I was before and to do the big shoulder lift and all this sort of crap. And I stopped enjoying what I was doing. And when I got rid of all that, I just thought, you know what? Just enjoy it. Just enjoy the training. Go back to the basics and just do it right. Not only did I enjoy it more, not only did I want to train more, I started getting better results. I started growing again without even really trying. And I enjoyed the training and my strength started to improve. So enjoyment is a very, very key factor. I don't expect anyone for those last 4 or 5 weeks of diet to be bouncing around going, oh, fucking loving this. Because if you are, you ain't fucking doing it right. But you should be stepping off stage going, you know what? That was good. Might not got the placing I wanted, but I did the best I could. Or maybe you didn't do the best you could. But you know what? I still actually enjoyed the process. And that's important. You've got to enjoy the overall process. So be realistic with your goals. Aim for the stars. And if you're not getting there, then be realistic about what you can achieve. And don't beat yourself up because you haven't reached the stars, because it's far from the end of the world. And I've met some very successful people in business and in sport and in other aspects, but they've failed miserably in life and they've failed miserably in being a human being. So, you know, there's more to the measure than the fancy car, the great physique, the nice woman or man, and the nice clothes. There's something to being a fulfilled person as well. I was chatting to somebody at the weekend, suffering from depression, having issues with abuse of stimulants and other things, and trapped in this world that they can't eat, or a binge eat, and then I bang in loads of fat burners to try and compensate because they feel they have to look a certain way because they've done one competition. That one competition has particularly probably destroyed their self-confidence and a large percentage of their lifestyle, because now they feel they have to be a certain thing. Just be you. The most interesting people I've ever met are those that are just them, that don't try and be something else. Strive to be all you can be, without doubt. Strive to be the best version of you can be, without doubt. But there are certain things you can't achieve. I ain't climbing Mount Everest. I ain't running a 4-minute mile. I ain't even going to fucking try. So accept your limitations. Try, find them. Once you find where those limits are, accept them. Don't continue to bang your head against a fucking wall thinking eventually you're going to break it down, because you're not. And be happy. Life's too fucking short to be miserable. Anyway, enough. I'm now going to go back to the living shit out of my dog, because he's just chewed loads of shit he shouldn't have chewed. Have a good one, and I will catch up with you during the week. Take care now. Bye-bye.